What's going on, everybody? Tyler Garner here, and in this video today we've got a really special training. There's going to be quite a lot to this, but for anyone who's seen any of my trainings in the past, you're going to know what I really like to do is apply a mixture of platform fundamentals with consumer psychology and really bring that together to give you the most applicable and I guess relevant and up-to-date strategies and trainings on how to improve your ad performance, how to become a better marketer, how to build a bigger brand, and essentially just make scaling a whole lot easier for you. There will be no tactics in here, no short little hacks that are going to get you by temporarily only to shoot yourself in the foot or for you to struggle longer term. Everything we're going to go through in this is repeatable. It's not something that's going to fatigue or die out at any point. This is all very at a fundamental level consumer psychology and things that are going to work that are timeless. And so I'm really excited to be able to share this with you today because I see so many people get this wrong. I see myself continuously repeating this both to clients and to people I speak with and to consulting clients. And basically most people are just getting the whole ad buying strategy wrong, or what type of ads they should serve to their customers depending on the stages. And the goal of this video is to really give you an in-depth level and a better understanding of how to serve the right ads to your customers from a platform level, from an ad level, from just a whole communication level. And once you understand this, what you will find is that performance is going to improve. Things are going to become easier because you're speaking to customers the way they want to be spoken to. And so what I'm calling this video is the 4 stages of buying behavior. And it's really important that you understand this because every market, every person, every offer, everything that we sell, every single person on this face of the earth is at a different stage of the market right now. And so those 4 stages, as you can see detailed here, is unaware, problem aware, solution aware, and product aware. Now, these markets all contain different sizes of audiences, and we're going to break down and get into that today, as well as a few other things. So let's dig straight in. Now, before we get started, there's a few things that I want to go through, is the structure of what this video is going to look like so you can better understand what you're in for today. The first thing we're going to touch on is the size of the awareness groups, because it's important to understand where you should really be focusing your time for maximum scale. And a lot of people actually get this wrong, so I'm really excited to share this with you. The other parts are why most brands can't scale, where the opportunity for almost infinite scale is, the 4 stages broken down, and then how to apply this into both your sales funnel from a strategic level and also from an ad level, and what your ads and creatives and even your copy needs to look like. And so we're going to break all of that down at a top of funnel level, middle of funnel level, and also a bottom of funnel level, as well as different examples of different ads at different stages to give you more information to help you understand better how this actually looks, because theory is fantastic, but until you can see it implemented and you actually either go and implement it yourself or you can see how it's applied, it won't click. And so my goal with this training is to give you a full spectrum understanding of from theory right up to implementation and just how it all looks, because it's the best way to retain information. So let's start with the size of the awareness groups, because I think that a lot of people get this wrong. Now, none of this is to scale, but it's just to give you a bit of a contrast of the different stages and where majority of your market's going to exist. And so, although it's not perfectly to scale, it's a really good understanding or a good estimate of where your markets exist at any given time. So what you will see is that the unaware group is your largest group. They're the people who have no idea about you, no idea about their problem, and no idea about why they should care about what you have to sell them. Next up, we have problem aware. These people are aware that they do have an issue in their life, but that's all they know. They know they've got a problem, but they've done nothing about it. It might not be a high priority to them. And so there's quite a lot of people within that market that you can serve. So the solution aware group are people who are very aware that there's a way to fix whatever problem they currently have. However, they still haven't gone through and found a solution, or they haven't fixed the problem that they're currently experiencing, but they know that there are options out there. And then the last one is product aware. Now, this product aware group of people who actually know that there are certain products, but more specifically your products that exist to help with a specific problem. Now, realistically, that product aware group can be much smaller. Statistically speaking, they say that at any given time within the marketplace, that approximately around 3% of the entire market are ready to buy right now with your product, that if you just said, here's what I've got, come buy it, around 3% of people would be interested in that. And so it's not a whole lot. And so 97% is made up within this other group, but of that 97%, they do say around 30% of people will never, ever be your customer, no matter what you do or say. They would just not be interested. And so that leaves you with around 67% of your market existing somewhere, or 97% will exist somewhere along here, but only 67% are ever going to be realistically a potential buyer of yours. I can't remember the article where I got that information from, but it is out there. They call it the 3-67-30 rule, 3% being in the market, 67% being potentially in the market, but they need more convincing, and then 30% will never be interested whatsoever, which is totally fine. One thing that's really important to note with this as well, the sizes of these awareness groups are really going to vary based on the complexity of your offer and the pain of the problem. The more prevalent that the pain is, the greater the problem aware. The less prevalent that the problem that they're experiencing, that your product, whatever it may be, can solve, the more unaware they're going to be. And so it really varies based on your market, and it's really important to go into this understanding that this can fluctuate slightly, but they still exist within this kind of principle, this kind of guideline. Okay. Now, here's the first part. Most people's copy and creative are speaking to both the solution and the product aware. You're making it all about yourself. You're making it all about your brand and how good your brand or product is. And for those who are solution or product aware, that's really good. They need to be told that. They need to know that you're the best possible brand out there, the best product for this possible solution that they're looking for, but you're assuming they know what this solution is. You're assuming that they know that you can provide, that they want help with this, and that you're just giving it to them. And by communicating to that, you're cutting out the largest markets that you have available. Okay. And the problem when you exist within this product aware group, this solution aware group, again, you will get early results, but you will not be able to scale because you're going to burn through that audience very, very quickly. And this is the problem why most brands can't scale, because they're not communicating to the right market. You can't tell people, hey, look how good we are, to the unaware group. They just won't care. They're going to see it, not realize that it's for them based on whatever problems they might be experiencing, and they're going to keep scrolling. Our job is to first start at the unaware stage, or at the very least the problem aware stage if you want to address the problem aware market, and then move them through each stage piece by piece. So from unaware to problem aware, from problem aware to solution aware, from solution aware, then you introduce your product. You don't skip a step. You can skip steps, but it's going to be less effective than moving them from unaware, help them become problem aware, from problem aware, help them understand what the solution is, why it's the solution. So you're going to bridge that gap. And then you have to introduce the product and why your product is more superior for the solution that they're now aware of. And so that's what moves us into the next stage and where the real opportunity for scale is. Now, this doesn't go without saying that entering this market is harder. To crack this market is a lot harder, but once you crack this market and you can achieve profitability and you know that you're profitable while moving the unaware or problem aware market through these stages, you're going to find that performance is a lot better, a lot more consistent, but you're going to be able to spend a whole lot more for these customers because you're going, the size of the audiences is so much greater. And so this is the market that you want to be cracking. You don't want to be spending time trying to crack the solution and product aware market. There's just not enough scale there. And the platform like Facebook, we're creating the demands. They don't come to Facebook hoping that you're going to serve them an ad. We are creating that demand. They're not searching for you currently. We need to be able to educate them and show them why our product is exactly what they need based on the problems that they're currently experiencing. And we show that through copy, we show that through creative, and we show that through the landing page that we also send them to. But the whole landing page structure and formatting is another video for another time, but it still applies within this buyer's psychology, buyer's mentality. So let's start at the first stage, the unaware stage. These people is not currently aware of the problems, as we discussed, experiencing their life, or at the very least, it's not at the forefront of their attention, nor do they see it as a current problem. So our job at this stage of the funnel is purely to take them from having no idea that they have a problem and then calling out certain things that they may be experiencing in their lives for them to understand that all of a sudden they have a problem. They might see blotches on their face or get occasional zits and warts or whatever. And all of a sudden, if we can educate them on why that happens, that they have a problem, that that's not actually normal, that it's a problem worth fixing, then we can introduce them to a solution. And it might be a certain ingredient, it might be in a certain remedy that fixes that specific problem. And that if that problem was to be left untouched, that here's all the issues that may come from it. Or it might be a warning sign for other things down the track. And so now they're aware of the problem. Now it's our job to educate them on what that solution looks like. And then once they understand the solution, we need to show them why our product not only has that solution, but is a far better solution to what else is out there. These guys are not actively searching for a solution. In this case, it's our focus to make them acutely aware of the problem first and then introduce them to the solution. Introduce someone to the solution before someone is even aware of the problem. It's just not going to be effective. Again, if they aren't aware of a problem, they have no desire, they have no emotional drive to actually want to try and solve it. Okay? The next stage is problem aware. Your potential customer is actively aware that there's a problem in their life that they're experiencing, but they're yet to seek out a solution to this problem. So in this, I want you to understand that a lot of the education, a lot of the topics that I'm discussing just within this video, the problem aware group, you can either start running ads directly to these people, meaning you can ignore that unaware group, which is the largest group, and create ads and create copy to people who are very actively aware of the problem. Why this is beneficial or why this is effective to start here is because you can really drive into the pain points, and your creatives can be far more tailored specifically at the beginning of the videos to the people who are already aware of the problem. You can agitate the pain further because they're already aware, meaning we don't need to actually educate them on problems they may be experiencing. And once we can highlight that problem and we get them hooked, that we identify and we understand the problems that they're experiencing, then we want to start moving them through into the next stages, which is introducing what the solution is to the problems that they are aware of, that they suffer from, and then we can move them into the product side as well. But first, we want to highlight the problem, help them identify with us and realize that we understand their problem. What we want to be, the best example I like to give is we treat them like a doctor-patient scenario. We're the doctor, they've come to see us. They have a problem that they're actively aware of. For example, you go to a doctor, you go, my knee's really sore. And let's just say that the doctor then pokes you in the back in a certain way and says, does that hurt your knee? And if you said yes, and he goes, okay, he'll write down a little prescription, give you a prescription, you go to the medicine, you go to a chemist, the chemist gives you a prescription that the doctor said, and before you know it, you're better. You don't question it, you don't ask questions, you just know that someone who is the authority in this space, who is able to identify your problems and poke around a little bit and tell you, okay, I understand why you're having these problems based on me poking around, and I'm the expert. Now you're going to trust, or you're going to trust that expert, trust the person who's given you this advice because they understood the pains you're experiencing and were able to pick out what could be leading to it and gave you the solution. You don't think twice because the doctor told you, an authoritative figure, an educated figure told you what to do, and you just accept it and you go along with it. And in this case, what we want to do is really call out the problem that these people are experiencing. The goal is if they were to be sitting there on their phone scrolling, and they see your ad, and you either write a message in a certain way or your ad speaks to them in a certain way that they could sit there and nod along, that they understand, and that they can realize and identify with this one ad that, wow, this person understands me. They understand what I'm going through. They understand the language I'm using. They understand some of the ways that this is impacting my life. And if we can articulate that in a way that they would articulate that, they're going to identify far more with your ad. They're going to trust you a lot more. And then they're also going to believe that the solution that you then offer them is for them. Because whether it's a case study that you're sharing or it's a video that you're sharing of a before and after or whatever it might be, they're going to have more trust with that because they can see themselves in that creative. And that's very hard to achieve, but that's the most important part. You want to help your customer identify with your product or with the problem and show that you understand them so that they can trust the solution you're about to present to them, okay? We don't want to skip over the stage too fast, and it's important that they feel understood with their current pains and problems that it causes them. The more that they can feel understood with their problems, the more likely they are to identify and desire the solution we're about to show them. Our job is to highlight and agitate the current problem and to then introduce the solution to this problem being your product, whatever it may be. There's a few exceptions to this rule where there isn't really a problem aware stage, and that would be things like fashion and apparel. Fashion and apparel, you basically want to be able to sell. It isn't so much a problem, but more so an identity that you want to sell. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're selling a product that genuinely solves a problem, that's where this is more applicable. The messaging tone here can be far more assumptive if you're going to start from scratch. So obviously, anytime you start from unaware, you move them through all the stages. You always move from left to right. So if we go back and we look at the unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, if we start at unaware, we move them through all 4 stages. If we start at problem aware, we move them through from problem down to solution from left to right the entire time. It always moves left to right, never right to left, okay? And so once we're at problem aware, we can either start here or we start at unaware. If we start at unaware, Then once we've been able to get them aware of a problem that they're experiencing, then we introduce them to the next stages down the track. If we start at problem aware, then what we're able to do is just move them straight into solution because they're already aware of that. So our tone can be more assumptive if we start from the problem aware stage, because we know what this customer is. We know that there's someone who's already struggling with acne, with thin hair, with weight loss, or with being overweight and not wanting to be overweight anymore. And we can talk about the problems that it's bringing to their life, the way they look, the way they feel, the things they can or can't do because of the problems that they're experiencing. Then we can introduce the solution and why it's a solution for this problem and how it's different to what else is out there. And so let's look now into the solution stage. So again, we can launch ads from this stage. We can speak directly to the people who are aware that there are solutions out there, but it's a lot harder to convince these people because these are the people who are window shoppers, they're comparers, they're going to look at your ads, then they're going to go to Google and type things around. But where this is different is if we've started at either the unaware or problem aware stage, and we move now into the solution aware, the continuation from this point is that at this stage, the customer now knows of their problem because of what our ads have done. And now our job is to build the bridge between the problem they're facing and how to solve it. Our job here is to be able to highlight a unique solution to the problem they're facing, but the unique solution that we talk about and how to fix the problem that they have has to include or be something unique in a way that our product helps with that. So for example, if you've got a teeth whitening product and you know that stained teeth come from a certain problem, we need to talk about the unique problem that's staining. For example, you might have an angle targeting specifically coffee drinkers, and it's the certain chemical within the coffee that's staining the teeth. And so you've created a product, and let's just say it's all natural. You've been able to create a product, or there's the solution to the staining in your teeth because of coffee is through a combination of natural ingredients that's this. And you've fortunately been able to, and then you go into product aware, which is you introduce your product and how it contains all of those natural ingredients all in one because they're hard to find, sourced from all over the world, blah, blah, blah. And there's a product that can solve that problem. And so you've been able to bridge them through the entire process. If we are starting cold, it's a little harder. If we're going to run ads without first bridging the unaware, problem aware states, then your message is going to resonate with a lot less people, meaning there are people out there who are going to see the solution and go, amazing, that's exactly what I was looking for. But typically those people are Google searching for an answer, or they'll constantly be comparing you with other people. Type of person who's already solution aware without your help will know of a range of different solutions to their problems because they already have been searching for it, or at least researching and understanding it. But they either don't think it's going to work for them, or they've used the product in the past and it didn't solve their problem. It's our job in this instance to highlight key points of differences in our products and why our product will work when others have failed them in the past. And so this is where we start talking about unique solutions. And then we explain to them why it hasn't worked in the past so we can attack all the things that, and all the reasons why they justify it hasn't worked. For example, weight loss diets and all those things. Our job is to really stamp out why others haven't worked without naming names. And then we need to introduce the unique solution, why it's going to work. Because if we can show them and educate them on why it hasn't worked before, but then educate them on here's why it's going to work now, because it's a little bit different and there's something unique, and because these other things didn't contain this unique solution, that's why it didn't work. But just so happens that you've got a product that contains the unique solution that is going to work. It allows them to bridge the gap saying, oh, that's why that didn't work, but this is the same solution or a bit different of a solution, and that's why it's going to work now. They can then start bridging that gap and understanding how your product is a better solution to what they're looking for. Okay? Like I said, at this point, it's really important to be able to highlight what makes us different. This stage is ideal to highlight any unique mechanisms that your product, solution, or brand have that nobody else can offer. Obviously, just stating that it's made in America isn't going to help at all. It's just another way that you can kind of incentivize your product. Or, why people should shop with you is because you produce it locally or something like that. Highlighting money-back guarantees or any type of refund if it doesn't work for them is also another great way to win over these customers, because if they have tried other solutions before and you're not too far different, the other way that you can incentivize them is you either get results or you don't, and if you don't, you'll get your money back, and that's something more that you can offer that other people might not offer. Another way, another small hack that we can use here, and this is more of a hack but something you can continue to apply, is if you are going after the solution aware state, meaning these are people who have shopped around before, most likely from your competitors, go to their ads, go to their go to their Amazon, check out their reviews, see their negative reviews, go to their store and see the same thing, and see why people aren't happy. See what they've said, why it hasn't worked for them, and then overcome those objections. Find the consistencies between some of the negative reviews. What are people saying? Why aren't they happy? Why are they leaving a 1-star? What were some things that this product promised that it couldn't deliver on, or things that they didn't like about the product that your product can help solve? That way, there's going to be a market of people out there who also have had these poor experiences that you can solve that problem for them with your unique solution. Okay. Further bridging as to why other solutions haven't worked for them in the past is a powerful way to give the aha moment to your audience so that they better understand how your product is better than the rest out there. Again, it's all about bridging that gap and the knowledge gap about the problem they have, the solution that's out there, but there's a unique solution, and the unique solution is where your product comes in and offers something different. The last stage being product aware. Again, if we're continuing on from the ad, so we've gone through all 4 stages, or let's just say you start at the problem aware and you graduate them all the way through. Now's your time to shine. The customers are not only acutely aware of the problem they have in their life and ways that they can solve it and what those solutions look like. Our job is to now wow them with an offer for your product that makes it a no-brainer to buy right now. So not only have they gone through and understood they have a problem, they now understand how it's solved, but now we need to sell them on our product, all the reasons that ours is unique, whether it's an amazing offer, money back guarantees, customer reviews, social proof, all of that's really, really effective. Before and afters, if you can sneak them in somehow, I know that they're a bit more relaxed now, are all great ways to further enhance the perceived value of your product or solution, as well as customer reviews that can actually talk about some of the problems that they faced in the past. They found out that this was the solution and they're really happy since they've used your product is another great way to overcome some of those problems and to further enhance the trust and also the desirability of your product. If you're going to go straight after a cold audience here, let's just say you're running ads that speaks and communicates directly to people who are product aware. Realistically, the only people you would run ads to at this stage that communicates directly to product aware without any further bridging are people that you're going to retarget. You're not going after a cold audience with that type of messaging. I mean, you can give it a go, but most of the time it's just not going to work. The reason it doesn't work is because people aren't sitting on Facebook waiting to see your ads to want to buy your stuff, unless we can retarget them knowing that they've already engaged, that we've got the context that they've engaged at some point throughout our funnel, so we know that we're speaking to people who are already aware of us in some way, shape, or form. And so they're the smallest sized audience group. They are the easiest to convert when it does come to retargeting. At this stage, your messaging creatives are to be very direct and to the point because, we already know the actions they have or have not taken on the website. Reminder style copy can work well here for retargeting. Sale ads, us versus thems, previous winning top of funnel ads that are no longer in circulation are also really good angles to use here. The reason why top of funnel ads are really good to use at this stage when they are product aware is, one, it's already converted in the past, so it's most likely going to work well for retargeting. But two, when your top of funnel creators have already fatigued, it doesn't make sense to just kill them completely. Cycle them into retargeting so that they only see these ads that have thousands of comments ideally, will be when they get retargeted after either engaging with your ads in some way, shape or form, or visiting your website and browsing around and then not buying, because the next experience they'll have with you, being a retargeting ad, will be an ad with thousands of comments in a format that is clearly very effective based on it being a previous winning campaign or winning creative from your brand. And it's just a really good way to amplify and stamp out your authority, because they'll see not only one ad from the top of funnel that you were running before that's got a lot of comments and social proof and those kinds of things, but then when they're being retargeted, they're seeing heaps of more comments and likes and shares, further just implying that your brand is a big name brand and that a lot of people know, like, and trust your brand. And so this customer should be a part of that experience too. So how does this look when it comes to the sales funnel? Let me get this out of the way. Buying behaviors in the sales funnel. So the reason why these are color coded, the color is very intentional. How this looks in your sales funnel is as follows. For top of funnel, typically you want to be targeting and speaking to and communicating to the unaware and problem aware stage. And then in middle of funnel, typically you're speaking and communicating to the problem or solution aware stage. And then in bottom of funnel, it's typically solution and product aware. At that stage, you don't need to educate them about all the problems. You're assuming that they're not unaware because, again, we've got the context that they've been involved with our brand and familiar with our brand in some way, shape or form. Okay, and so here's a visual example of kind of how it all ties together. Let's keep going. So here's how copy and creatives for different buying behaviors is going to look. Realistically, it starts with a decision about who the ad is for, what stage of the funnel they're in, and then how we're going to communicate to that stage of the funnel. And I think this is the real starting point of any ad creation. It's always about who the ad's for, what are they thinking, what stage of the buying cycle are they at. It's not about what creative or what copy has worked for us in the past. It starts with the consumer and speaking directly to the people that we're trying to appeal to, and then understanding what they may or may not know about us so far and what we can offer them. Okay. And so when we start at the top of funnel stage, it's just cold. We know that the audience doesn't like us, doesn't know us, they've got no reason to trust us, and most likely they're not even aware that we have anything that can actually help them. They're not looking for help at this stage a lot of the time. Our job in this category is to make them aware of the problem that they're experiencing, and once they're aware of the problem, then we can show them the solution and help them move through to the other stages of understanding that there's an actual solution for it. Okay? It's our job to educate them. If we can become the doctor-patient scenario and become the doctor in that situation so that we can then show them what the next steps are to get better, they're going to trust what we have to say because no one else has educated them on the problems that they're experiencing. And if no one else has educated them on the problems that they're experiencing and how to actually solve it, they've got nobody else to know, like, or trust because we're the only ones that have done that so far. And so it's about helping them go from having no idea to having the answers to their problems that they might not have even been aware of, of the problems that they were experiencing. They would have just thought it's a part of everyday life. For example, if you've got achy joints or thin hair is something that you think that you might just be experiencing in life, that your hair's thin and that's what you need to deal with. But there's a solution out there to get thicker hair, a fuller head of hair. That's a real problem for a lot of women out there. And if you can sell them on the idea that they can get a fuller head of hair with a natural solution or a certain solution within a certain time frame, you need to educate them on what problem they're experiencing and that it's an actual problem that can be fixed, because then they're interested. Because if that's a problem they're experiencing, they're going to want to understand how to solve it. Okay? You create the open loop by talking about the problem, but saying that it can be fixed, that it doesn't need to be a problem. And it's about keeping that open loop is what's going to hold them through to the end so that you can introduce the solution and your product at the same time. Okay, so it's all about moving them from unaware to problem aware to solution aware and product aware. Skipping any one of these steps just breaks that buying cycle and understanding. If they go from unaware straight to solution aware, so if you say, hey, this product's great for thin hair, well, we're not talking about the problem that it can be solved. They go, that's great, it's good for thin hair, but I was born this way and so I'm always going to have thin hair. So unless we can help explain that the problem can be solved, they're never going to understand that that solution's for them. And so it's really important that we're going through all of the steps and not skipping over it. Or for example, if we're dealing with problem aware and we just go, hey, here's our product, here's all the amazing ingredients it has, you should come buy it, but they're aware they've got thin hair and you're saying that your product is great for all these reasons, they don't think that that's the solution for them because they don't realize that thin hair can be solved with with the secret ingredients that your product contains. Okay, and so again, it's about moving them through the stages sequentially so that it makes sense to them and that they can bridge the gaps themselves. Because when they can convince themselves or they can articulate in their own mind how to solve the problems they're facing, they're going to feel like they're making the buying decision, not you telling them what to do. And when people feel like they're in control, they're more likely to take the actions. And so a few things that are really important when we're creating or running ads at this stage is we need to ask ourselves questions. The questions that we ask are going to determine how effective our ads are going to be. The better the questions, the better the performance, the better the type of ads and copy that we can create. So the first thing we want to know when we're working on top of funnel ads is what problem are we addressing? Again, there are a few exceptions to this where you're not really solving a problem. And so you need to speak more about the identity that they want to become. But that's, if anyone has questions about that, I can answer that at another time. Who is the audience that's experiencing the problem that we're trying to deliver? And then what type of language are they using? Not what we want to use, but what do they use in everyday life to describe their problems? Or if they don't currently describe their problems, what is some of the language that they use in everyday life so that we can speak like them, so that they feel like we're speaking directly to them due to the language that we're using? Some other questions. What do we need to show and say to make them see the ad, stop, read, and click the ad? If we met the person in real life, this is a really good scenario I like to work through every time. If I was to meet this person in real life, how would I want to sell to them on this product? What would I want to ask? How would I want to show it to them? What were some questions and things I could say to this person on the street or face to face that could help them understand they have a problem and that it's worth solving? What do we need to show them as a problem that's going to uniquely position our solution as the obvious answer? Again, if you can solve a multitude of different problems, you can run an ad that addresses all of those problems, but ideally you want to go narrow and deep. You don't want to go far and wide. Okay, you want to go narrow and deep where you focus on one problem at a time. This is how you can come up with unique angles. And the better the angle, the better the performance. And so go as deep as possible on one specific problem so that you can better solve that one specific problem in an ad. Yeah, you're going to be cutting out if your market's this big and there's an angle that contains this much of your market, you will be cutting out that big portion, but you'll be speaking so directly to them that they know that you're speaking to them and that the solution you have is specifically for them. Okay. When they feel understood, they're more likely to take the actions and make the decisions that we want them to take. How many different ways can we highlight these problems through copy and creative and still appeal to our audiences? This is how we can come up with other testing mechanisms, other testing methods for the first opening 3 seconds or certain opening lines in our copy that's still going to speak to the customer, just repositioned in different ways. That's still going to speak to them clearly. And this is just so that we can come up with different testing assets to be able to work with. What can we show, do, or say to highlight and create the immediate desire that they want to solve their problem through the use of our product? Okay, what can we show, do, or say to highlight and create the immediate desire to want to solve their problem through the use of our product? So this is about really going into the pain of the problems that they're experiencing. How do we get them onto the same wavelength as us and thinking that it is a problem that they have, it is something worth solving, and they want to find out how to fix it. We've got to do that within a 3 to 10 second window to really hook them in and to get them to want to buy that next step or to know that there is a solution and find out what that solution is. It's a lot of work to do, but if we can get this right, this is where the money is. So let's look at middle funnel. Now, middle of funnel copy can be more assumptive. We know the customers engage with our content, meaning we don't need to speak to them so coldly. This is in a dating scenario. This would be like we're not going up to a woman asking for a number. We've now got her number. We're not going to still speak to them like we're just getting to know them. We're getting a bit more comfortable. We can be a little more assumptive with our messaging. Okay, nothing too crazy, but just a little bit more assumptive because we know where they're up to based on the audience that we're retargeting. We know that they're going to recall our brand name, message, or product in some way, shape, or form. And again, it depends on the intensity of what actions they have or have not taken. However, we can assume that they're clearly not convinced that we can help because they haven't taken that next step. So depending on what you may or may not be excluding or who you're targeting here, it might be page engagers, it might be video viewers, it might be something completely different like sending your page a message or saving posts on Instagram. Depending on the actions they have or haven't taken will determine on the message and the creatives that you may use here and really just determine the intensity of that. Our sole purpose here is to highlight, remind, and graduate their level of awareness that their problem needs fixing and our product is the solution. So this is somewhere between that problem and solution aware stage, and you can test out different creatives, different messaging here, knowing that they're up to that kind of stage in the funnel, okay? But again, the main thing is that we want to highlight that their problem does need fixing and that our product is the solution to that. We really want to keep reiterating that in as many different ways as possible. It's all about repositioning the same solution in a number of different ways until it makes sense to them. The copy and creative here is focused on problem and solution aware messaging. Some different types of creatives that we can run here as examples would be review-based ads, before and afters, unboxings, frequently asked question videos, us versus them against competitors, PR quote ads to imply authority. If you've got even whitelisted influencers on your business manager or through your Facebook page that have created content for you and you have access to their Instagram and Facebook pages, that's another effective way as well to run middle of funnel creatives. It's just third-party endorsements. It's a really, really powerful way to help amplify your perceived authority in the market space. You can even create fake influencer pages if you really want to make it seem like it's a third person endorsing your product. That's a little bit gray, but anyway, it's an idea. It's something you can do. They're all effective middle of funnel style strategies, things that have all worked for us in the past. A lot of those aren't as effective at the top of funnel because again, based on where people are up to in the awareness stages, it doesn't make sense for them to see a frequently asked question video because they haven't asked questions. They don't know who you are or what you can do for them. So showing an FAQ video at the top of funnel just makes no sense whatsoever. So you need to be aware of that. Here's some questions that we ask when it comes to working out middle of funnel creatives and middle of funnel copy. What stopped them from clicking before? Asking this question gives you so many different new angles and ideas about why wouldn't they have clicked and what can we do differently. Keep asking questions about who are we targeting at this stage, what do we know about what they have or haven't done, and what can we say or show differently to make them take the next step. So, which leads into the next one. How else can we demonstrate the problem that they're experiencing and how our products solve that problem? What can we do to expand the relationship from just knowing a little bit about us to being ready to buy? What didn't we show them or highlight well enough before that we could enhance their understanding about now to create more desire for our product? Small typo. What are some other features, benefits, or solutions we can show them that will highlight the problem we solve? So there's all different ways that we can articulate this. It could be written copy, it can be advertorial pages, it can be review-based pages, it can be unboxing videos, it can be so many different ways that we can highlight and articulate the solutions that we offer. Can we further expand their current understanding of how we solve their problem or similar problems that will make them more interested to buy? How can we position the same solution in a slightly different way that might appeal to the customer more based on their current thought patterns and emotion towards their problem? So this isn't about us. None of this is about what can we show them about us. It's about what are they thinking, what are they experiencing, and how can we position ourselves as the solution to what they're currently experiencing and thinking. It's not about us, it's always about the customer and for them to feel like you are the right solution for them. The more we make it about them and less about us, the more likely they are to actually want to buy. Okay? And then finally is the bottom of funnel stage. And the copy here is all about addressing objections, identifying why the customer still hasn't bought, and further showing proof that our product or solution is solving the problem that the current customer is experiencing. Reasons they don't buy at this stage is that the main objections they currently have are not being addressed in your ads, landing pages, or copy. And therefore, before they're comfortable to buy, it's our job to overcome those concerns and show them what they may still be searching for, or to better reposition ourselves as the authority compared to some of the competitors that are out there. Creative and copy at this point should be more geared towards reviews, social proof, discounts, urgency, reminders, different links, destinations, reviews or comparison landing pages are also great. And then just handling any objections that may be coming up. Looking at the comment section of your ads is a really good way to identify some reasons people may not buy. People have questions, those kinds of things. Really good way to add those in either into an FAQ video or into the FAQ section on a landing page, or to test out different destinations that you can actually send people to in your ads, whether it's a product page, collection page, or the home page overall. New angles can be created for bottom of funnel ads by researching customer reviews, both positive and negative, researching negative reviews of competitor brands, as discussed before, and solve that negative experience of others. Reviewing comment sections of ads and see what questions people are asking regularly and comments that are being made on your ads. Find new ways to overcome those questions. For example, someone says, "Is this made in America?" We can create an ad that says, "People always want to know if our products are made in America. Thankfully, yes, or luckily, or you're in luck, yes they are." Finding a way to overcome that and talking about that, and you include free shipping, and here's all the other things you're going to get. Being able to answer that as your opening line or answer that as the opening within your creative is a really good way to overcome some of the objections that they may be facing. You might have it plastered everywhere on your website. People may not be looking. Banner blindness is a real thing. Everyone visits your website looking for something to read. Looking for something different. Some of them like to read all of your descriptions. Some people just skim read. Some people just look for the icons. Other people are literally just window shopping with no intent to buy ever. But they're all there for a different reason. And so we need to overcome and address that and make sure that everyone that comes and visits to your website, no matter how they interact, are all able to get the same information no matter what. And so here's some of the questions that we need to be asking for bottom of funnel. Firstly, what stopped them from buying? Secondly, what are ways to remind them of our product solution in a new light so that we can avoid message fatigue, creative fatigue, those kinds of things? What objections might they have that we can overcome? What are some objections that they might be telling themselves that stopped them from buying so far? Do we simply need to remind them to purchase the product that they've looked at, or are they needing an extra nudge to see the value in the offer? Do we need to offer any kind of angles, unique benefits that our products and offers, that our product offers that can make them make an easier decision to buy? Can we send them to a different on-site destination for a different result? Example, advertorial, review page, FAQ, those kinds of things. What page on the website have they visited? Again, this is all retargeting based. What would have stopped them from moving forward at that point? And based on that destination, what can we do to bring them back and move them past that destination on the page? Example, if they visited a product page but haven't made it to the cart, they might have reservations, or there might just be something that's blocking them from navigating there. Maybe we send them to a landing page dedicated for that product that makes it an easier buying decision, or they haven't added to cart because for whatever reason it was hard to know how to add something to cart. Happens from time to time. We might sell them on, hey, message our customer support. They're ready and available to help you with your purchase. Showing them that there's other ways that they can buy. They can call you. They can do everything. And then lastly, one thing you can do is just reposition your offer. So if you haven't offered discounts at the front end, it happens. What you can do is then start offering small discounts on the back end. Or before you start offering discounts on one-time purchases, start incentivizing in other ways. Buy 2, get $20 off. Buy 3, get $100 off. It might be a spend and save, flash sale, 24-hour sale, VIP sale. So many ways that you can reposition your offer to get a better result, and it's effective. Give me 1 second. All right, let's get a light on. Can we reposition our offer so that the offer's the same in a different way? Buy 1, get 1 free, 50% off. Spend a certain amount for a free gift. Spend and saves. There are a million different ways that we can offer this, but at the bottom of funnel, again, if they haven't bought initially, there's usually something holding them back, and sometimes offering a discount can really get them there. Even just reminding them that they can earn free shipping by buying a certain amount can really help as well. That way it's perceived as an offer or a better offer, but really you're just showing them things that they might not have seen on the website. For example, a lot of people like to, if they just buy 1 item, you're going to charge them a shipping fee. But if they buy 2 items, you'll offer them free shipping. And if that is one of the things, then what you can do, hey, buy 2 or more for free shipping. It becomes something you can remind them of that's very product focused, but it also incentivizes them to come back and complete their order because they can earn something free. Okay. Now, in the next stages of this, I want to give examples of creatives because I think it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to actually see how it's implemented. And I've gone through hundreds of different ads to try and bring you some really impactful ads that I think would make very, very, very high converting top of funnel creatives. This is going to be discussing unaware. There's another slide for problem aware. We're going to go through all the stages of awareness and how creatives can be tailored and created for these different stages. Okay. There will be no sound to this because it would have just come out awful. And so I've muted the sound, but I want you to see these examples with me. And I'm going to try and talk through them the best I can. Now, this video is opening up talking about 3 myths, meaning we're actually going to be talking about and introducing them to a problem they might be experiencing. Okay, it's talking about 3 myths about acne. And so it opens up with people who may be aware of the problem with acne, but they have no idea that there's an actual solution or there's a unique solution. And so, again, you can watch this back and go through it. There may be a link to this brand. I can't actually remember the name of the brand. I've just got it saved in a folder. But what you will see, they're showing example upon example upon example. But this video is perfect. It goes for a minute or so. What you will see as well, it follows a real new TikTok style. What you will find in a lot of these creatives, they all follow a certain style these days, which is following a TikTok, a very platform native approach. And so it's an effective way to fly under the radar as an ad. And personally, that is one thing I've just been drilling home consistently. Don't make it look like an ad. Make it look as native as possible while still delivering the message. This is perfect. Perfect. A lot of people, most people spend more time on TikTok now than Facebook. And so if we are going to catch their attention and hook them, we want to create creatives that are in line with the creatives that they're already, or the content that they're already consuming, which if they're consuming it on TikTok, it looks and feels a certain way. And so this video has done an amazing job of that. And so in this video, what you saw, it took people who were unaware, talks about the problem, 3 myths about acne and how to fix it. And then they talk about the solution to the problem. And then towards the end, they talk about how their product is the solution to that. And they amplify that with social proof, people who are all talking about the ways that it's helped them to show that people are out there using it. Okay? And so it's a perfect combination. There's the brand there, Bamboo Earth. Amazing. Perfectly done. 10 out of 10. The next one, what we've got is a skincare brand. I think this is also Bamboo Earth. Now, one thing that's really powerful about this creative, and I thought it was awesome to open with, is pay attention to the first 3 seconds. Having run ads in the skincare brand, in the skincare niche in the past, one thing that I find again and again and again that's really impactful is if you've got a product that looks appealing, that is a very clean looking product, showing it being moved, showing it being used or moved around like this is a real, it's peaceful on the eyes and it seems to hook people. It's a really good opener. If you go to any skincare brands, like for example, you can go to Alaya, you can go over to this brand here called Hey Bud. All of them have this opener that is just hooks you in with touching and moving around on the product. It's just this satisfying kind of look, and it just seems to be a really effective and an opener for brands. If obviously your product unfortunately has a real ugly, say, brown color, it's not as effective because it doesn't look as nice to the eyes. But what you'll see here, this is more around unaware, but they were unaware completely that dehydration of the skin can cause premature aging. And so what this ad's going to do is it's instantly going and showing people that are of a certain age how they can actually still look young, how their skin can still look young. And then it's going to talk about the problem, why this happened in the first place, and then it's introducing the product. This is a bit of a combination of both. It's a mix between solution into problem and problem back to solution, and then introducing the product towards the end or seeding the product throughout. Really, really well put together ad. This could really apply to any stage of the funnel. And so this is one that I really, really like. Let's see if I can speed this up. So it's just showing people applying the product and some of the benefits from it. Again, it goes through all of the different stages, talks about all the unique features and benefits, but it's all organic. It's user driven, showing proof of the product that people are buying it, using it, and giving their examples. Plus, this is very native to the way that people give skincare demonstrations, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or whatever. People are always presenting themselves first and applying the product and giving their feedback as they're applying it. So it's very, very well done and native to that platform, and the editing of it is very native to, say, something like TikTok still at the same time. 10 out of 10. Highly rated. Again, there's a reason why Bamboo Earth is clearly doing as well as they are, because they understand what ads are working really well on the platform. This next one, I'm a really, really big fan of. These guys are called Hey Bud. This actually went to an advertorial, which I'm a huge fan of for top of funnel. After you've kind of tapped out your market, you need to bring new people in. A really good way to bring people into the unique solution and understanding the unique solution of your product can be through an advertorial, from advertorial to product page for them then to buy. It just allows you to deliver more information. So you can see that this ad's only 12 seconds long, but what it's doing a great job of, people who are totally unaware, who thought that they just have blackheads on their face, on their skin, what we're doing is we're reshifting completely the idea that they have blackheads into that they may not have blackheads, that it might be something else. And so your blackheads might be these sebaceous filaments, whatever that is. And so now people can see this. Anyone who may identify with this instantly need the answers. So they're going to click through. I would have to believe, and I don't have the answers because this is not my client, but if I was running these ads, I would have to believe that these ads were getting somewhere between a 5% click-through rate plus, just because of how well this is articulated. Because most people would look at this and say, oh, those blackheads, but we're telling them that it's not. This goes back into the doctor-patient scenario. You now become the doctor. You're telling them, hey, what you think is blackheads, what you thought you had a problem of, actually isn't the problem, and you need to find out what the problem really is. It's an amazing ad, and I really was excited to show you that one. So let's keep going. So here's more within the unaware stage, because I think it's important that we can show you some other examples. Here's another really good one. In this video, it's 3 signs your dog's suffering from anxiety. And what they're doing is they're educating them on all of the problems that their dogs that may be giving off, so that they can go, oh, that's me. My dog has this problem. And so now they're going to be going, well, what's the answer? What's the solution to my dog having this problem? Introduce the product. Again, perfectly articulated ad to move them through unaware. I didn't think my dog had anxiety. My dog does have those problems and does show those signs. Now, how do I fix that? Oh, there's a product that's good for dogs with anxiety. Here's the product, come and buy it. Amazing. Again, this is a 40-second ad, perfectly articulated, educational, moves them through all of the stages, 10 out of 10. Now, this one I wanted to include just because it doesn't so much apply to educating them on an unaware stage, but if you're selling a product that doesn't particularly solve a problem, however, you can get away with it looking native on the newsfeed, this is really, really effective. So what you will see is it follows a meme style. Now, meme style ads are really, really, really effective if your demographic is under the age of 30, even under the age of 35. This product is just something that's good for a gift. It doesn't really have a major solution, but it's a really interesting and unique way to be able to show, what you can do and how you can kind of use native looking ads within the platform. And you'll see here as well, it's got TikTok style creatives on it saying this is your size, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying that it's for long distance, whatever. Amazing ad, really, really clever. Obviously TikTok style creative mixed in with the meme style content. Perfect top of funnel ad, looks really native and fits straight into the newsfeed very, very easily. And so again, for people who are the right fit, they go, oh my God, I needed that. They understand instantly what the problem is, how it solves the problem, and how it's cool. And it's cheap enough that it's going to be pretty easy to just go ahead and buy. I think it's like 30 bucks. This next one's really interesting. It's a story-based ad, goes for around 14 seconds. I thought it was important to add it into the unaware stage just because people aren't aware that there may be a way to solve a problem. This is a mixture of, it's probably more bridging on problem aware than unaware, but I still wanted to show it. What you will see here is best way to get relief from a UTI, introduce solution, and then that's it. And all it does is it loops. So it's on a story-based format. They don't want to skip the ad too quickly, and so they just loop it twice. Now, the thing with that is if you're unaware, you wouldn't have realized that you can search for this and come up with an actual solution. Or if you are aware of your problem, you wouldn't have thought that this is the answer to your problem. So you're going to become curious about it. And so then we're going to move into the next stage where there is more of their ads. And we're going to talk about some of the problem aware stages. Now, problem aware, this first opener is perfect. This is a must have if you have a small pup. So if you look at this ad, you're going to instantly understand how it talks about the problem. Okay, having a small pup, it's not a problem, but instantly you're going to realize, wow, this solves a problem that my small dog has. He can't get up on lounges. Not that I'd understand why you want your dog on your lounge, but it can quickly show, here's a problem, here's how to fix the problem, here's the product, here's the solution. And so it instantly addresses the problem that people may already be aware that your small dog has a hard time getting up and down from the lounge, that they may injure themselves and have all these things. And here's the solution to that. Real short, quick, functional ad showing exactly what the solution is and how it works, and gives them an instant example of why they need to buy the product. The next one. This is TikTok style, the TikTok playlist, all of it is perfect. Again, this goes back to Hey Bud, really good creatives, and then they show you the after as well. And talking about the product and the solution and showing the outcome of it. Again, simple, but it talks specifically to that problem aware market to begin with. Shows the problem, people go, oh, I'm just like that. Oh my God, her skin looks how I want it to look. Hopefully this makes sense. The last one's really good. This opener here would get a lot of attention just purely because it's a unique product, unique color on their mind, on someone's hand, which people would look at that and think, what are you doing? Great pattern interrupt for that reason. So the thumb stop ratio would be really, really high again. As you can see, Hey Bud's a great example of some really effective ads. Their creative team behind it are doing an amazing job. Number one pro tip, if you to get rid of blackheads. So that doesn't make sense, but that's fine. I get the message. I get what they're trying to say. For you to get rid of things. And so what they're doing is they're talking about the problem, which is instantly blackheads, and then they're going straight into the product, but they're showing how it fixes it. And so within this video, I have to believe that they're talking about the solution, but even if they don't, they're instantly calling out the problem. People can see it, they identify with it. It's got a great attention grabber as well, stops them in their tracks, and then it goes into the product. And as you can see, they had a money back guarantee towards the end of that video. And so it's a great way when you do go product aware to give people a reason to want to try your product and not somebody else's. Let me get through this. So let's look at middle of funnel. Almost there. So within middle of funnel, again, we understand that these guys are somewhat problem and solution aware. And so at this point, if we know that, for example, in this example, this is more skincare focused again, the last under eye cream you'll need. So we are assuming that they understand and use an under eye cream. I mean, I'm sure most people at a certain age probably do use an under eye cream. But then it talks about how this is different, how this unique solution is a little bit different, and it goes further and further through. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the videos, running out of time here, and I want to make sure we get this in. And so then we go into Hey Bud again, very solution aware focused. It's talking about the solution, about the product, how it's different. Okay, people are aware of their problem or aware of the solution and what may be out there. And all we're doing is we're moving them from that stage into, hey, here's the solution that we do have available. Okay, or here's how our product is the best product for the solution that you're looking for. Now, this one is a really good one as well. People who are problem aware, For example, if you struggle with UTIs, you're going to know that cranberry juice is the perfect answer for anyone who suffers with UTIs, or that used to be the standard for UTIs. And so Sick of Cranberry instantly talks about the problem, calls out the problem without having to say anything else. It's a really, really good ad, especially for a static image where most of these that we're looking at have been videos so far. Really powerful ad. Good example here are people who may be problem or solution aware. Just showing the way dogs react to a certain bed is another really good one. They may be aware of a problem. They may be aware of certain solutions that are out there. And what we're doing is we're instantly articulating and highlighting how our product is better and is a better solution for the problems that are out there. And so what you'll see through the video, speed this one up. You'll see the dog walks away from on, and then all we're doing is an us first them. And again, us first them videos or images are super effective when it comes to highlighting some of the key differences, why your product is more valuable than others. And again, they're listing along the benefits. Really, really powerful retargeting ad. This could work well top of funnel because most people have dogs and understand that some dogs don't like their beds. And this could be universal in a couple of different ways. But ideally, this is speaking to that problem or solution aware state. Okay, next one. Let's look at some bottom of funnel examples. So bottom of funnel can be quite difficult sometimes. You run out of ideas, don't know really what to run. What differentiates a retargeting ad compared to something like a top of funnel or middle of funnel ad, which is more convincing, takes more convincing to win people over. If they're in the funnel, what can we do to bring them back and get them ready to buy right now? All we need to do is either show them an offer, show them why we're different, show them why we're better. Here's some examples for you. This is a static ad being run right now. I think it's a really, really great ad. What it's doing is it's showing that not only have you been featured, and you're not quoting that you've been featured in an article, because you can always quote, that's fantastic. But if you can take a screenshot showing yourself on the article and just use that as your ad, which they've clearly done here, and they just put their border around it to make it fit the dimensions, then it's going to deliver the message hell of a lot more effectively than you will, and it looks legit. This could be fake, I don't know, but it looks legit and it amplifies trust. It implies that you're an authority in the space because you've been featured somewhere on an article. This blog, she knows, might be no one big or important, but if you can show that you've been featured somewhere on an article, people aren't going to go research the article all the time. It's going to imply that trust and show that you're an authority within that space. The next one is the build a bundle from Elia, which you can see here, shows all the products, also shows all the ways that you can spend and save. All the products that they have on offer, all the things that you could buy, come back and save money by spending more money with them. It's a great way to get them back. They already know the product, they already know the brand. All we need to do is get them back and show them ways that they can save more money. This video here is actually quite good. All they're doing is highlighting all natural skincare that actually works, we guarantee it. So this is just reiterating through a USP that you guarantee results. That it's all natural and it actually works. And all it is just a plain slideshow. The only thing that changes is the background, and I'd have to believe that the background is of different products of theirs. So those are some really powerful bottom of funnel examples. And then these last ones, also from Hey Bud, really good examples to be able to share. We'll start here. 7 seconds long, nothing crazy. This is purely just a review slideshow. Holding the product or not holding the product, but wearing the product, and then they've just kind of clipped in their product. But just a review-based slideshow ad, super effective, super easy to set up, and probably one of the most staple things that you should be running in bottom of funnel. Last one is, again, this is review-based, and in this one it's really interesting. It's actually not a slideshow at all. All that's happening is that the 5 stars are glowing, kind of drawing the eye there. But other than that, nothing fancy. It just gives them more things to include within their retargeting arsenal, and really simple retargeting ads. Here's a couple more for you. I included these because I think it's important. Daily nutrition made simple. This one is what I like to call just your very simple call out ad. You can run this top of funnel. It can be okay, but a lot of the time people don't care about you or your product or your brand. They don't understand how this can help them. And so you can call out the unique features of your product in retargeting with a simple call out ad like this. Once they're aware of your brand, once they're aware of your product and how you can actually help them, this is a really effective way for that. Made with 34 all natural superfood ingredients. Again, you're reiterating some of the unique features and benefits of your product because they're aware of your product or aware of a solution, and all you're doing is re-amplifying why you're more important than other competitors out there. This ad, I'm not going to play, but you can literally just rewatch this and read it. Basically, all they're doing, overcoming objections, saying that they just met, they don't expect you to trust them, but they've got a money back guarantee, and that you can get heaps of savings off your products. It's literally just a voiceover, and they've obviously used a lot of the clips that have worked well in the past, and they're just saying they have a 45% return rate of their customers. We're not going to make any money on the front end. Come and get 50% off. Put us to the test, and hey, if you're not happy, you'll get your money back, but 45% of people will shop more than once. And so it's a great way to re-amplify trust, communicate to someone like they're a human being, like you're not just trying to sell them, and justify all the reasons why they should give it a go. This wouldn't make sense to run in top of funnel. It just wouldn't. And you wouldn't communicate to someone like you've gotten to know them over time if it's top of funnel. But it's extremely effective in retargeting. And hopefully you can understand that. Again, they're reiterating with other reviews and all UGC, social proof, those kinds of things. And that, guys, wraps it up. 4 stages of the buying behavior: how to use it in ads, how to use it writing copy, how to think differently when it comes to creating ads. I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate you sticking around. And if you have any questions at all, leave them below and I'll jump into the comment section.